Did we crack the chocolate chip cookie code?
Find out next on Junk Feud.
Oh, yeah! Welcome to Junk Feud, the podcast about junk food where we rate and review mystery treats to determine which one will be the undisputed champion of snacks. I'm your host, Mike. Alongside me, as always, Alyssa.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Liz.
Okay, so which one of Santa's reindeers are dinosaurs afraid of?
Which one of Santa's reindeer are dinosaurs afraid of?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Comet.
Oh. That's a little dark. The Chicxulub impactor referenced there. The would it be a meteorite or an asteroid, Alyssa?
Probably a meteorite.
It's a meteorite, the meteor that hit the planet and killed the dinosaurs. You know, I saw something today, Liz. There was a new paper that was published that said that some of the dinosaur extinction was probably the result of catastrophic climate change in addition to the impactor, the comet that struck Mexico.
Really?
Or, in this case, meteor, like we said. Yeah, how about that? Anyway, that was a dad joke, a joke you tell to your dad. If you'd like to submit a dad joke for Alyssa to tell me on the show, you can send it in to us via X or Threads or Blue Sky Social at JunkFeudPod or via email to junkfeudpod@gmail.com. Liz.
What?
Welcome back once again to the world's yeetest podcast.
Very mid, giving him the super bus and hitting him with the Riz each and every.
Ho, ho, whoa, merry snacks, miss happy chowlidays. Liz, it's the most hungerful time of the year again, Alyssa.
Yeah.
I am so excited. Today is the big one, Liz. This is it. This is the big one.
This is it, yeah.
This is a big episode for us.
Is this the last one? Christmas episode?
No, there's one more after this, and we're saving it.
What's the point?
I know. It's a little bit of foreshadowing there. A little bit of a spoiler. Liz, a question to open up this show. Is Christmas a cookie holiday? Probably?
Yeah.
I mean, like, definitely, right?
Yeah.
There are such things as Christmas cookies, right?
Yeah.
So that would make Christmas a cookie holiday?
Yeah, like, is there a Christmas taco? No.
Hey, if you had to make a Christmas taco, what would be in it? Would it be sweet or savory?
Well, it would probably be sweet, but that would be it.
I don't know. I mean, Choco Tacos were sweet, and they were really good. R.I.P. to a real one, Choco Taco.
People are still selling those. Do you know how gross that is?
Yeah, probably I wouldn't eat the eBay Choco Tacos right now. It's been like a year.
So I'd say maybe a Choco Taco with drizzle of Hershey's chocolate.
Yeah.
Drizzle of what are those called? The strawberry sauce. Drizzle of caramel sauce.
So it's just a dressed up Choco Taco?
And has candy canes on the outside.
Oh, wow.
Lots of Christmas Skittles on the side as well. And then there's like
Where are we going with this?
And then there's like candy canes that prop it up when you buy it.
So this is just the elf breakfast dessert pasta, but inside of a taco, basically.
Oh, yeah, and there's some maple syrup, too.
And maple syrup, sure. Liz, the only reason I ask if Christmas is a cookie holiday because the Doughboys, one of my favorite podcasts that you're not allowed to listen to, an inspiration for this show. You shouldn't be. Good grief. They did this as a gimmick this year. I guess one of the hosts said that Christmas wasn't a cookie holiday, which is kind of an absurd take. And so they were asking all of the guests that they had on the show during the course of the year if Christmas was a cookie holiday. And listen, they got some surprising answers. There were some people that actually said no to that, which is pretty wild to me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think the only real answer is yes, of course it is. I mean, Christmas cookies, like we said, is a phrase and a flavor unto itself. Liz, there's a Christmas song called Christmas Cookies by G-Love and Special Sauce that's a holiday classic in our house. I play that all the time.
We do?
Christmas Cookie. Yeah, you know that one?
Not really.
You know, I once saw G-Love and Special Sauce play live in Philadelphia, where they're from, Liz.
Really?
Yeah, they opened for the Dave Matthews Band a bunch of times, and we went to a bunch of those.
Dad, I think I have a cavity.
What?
I think I have a cavity.
Why do you say that?
It hurts when I bite.
Oh, I mean, that's a good reason. Maybe you just have some dental soreness or sensitivity. Don't you have that special, like, sensitive toothpaste?
Yeah.
Should probably start using that again, huh?
Yeah.
Liz, I was saying the Dave Matthews Band always played really good concerts in Camden or Philadelphia, and G-Love and Special Sauce had a lot of great songs, but did you know, Liz, their most famous songs are all about food?
Really?
Yeah, that's right. There's Christmas Cookies, obviously, which we just said. Then there is the Philadelphia Drive Time 5 o'clock anthem, Cold Beverages. Have you ever heard that one?
Mm-mm.
Well, my old favorite radio station, Y100, used to play that every day at 5 p.m. to signal the end of the workday and the fact that it was time to go somewhere and find a cold beverage. And then also, Liz, there's a G Love and Special Sauce song that we like on this show very much that's called Milk and Cereal.
I know that one.
Yeah, you know that one.
Is it like the milk and cereal?
Yeah,
milk
exactly.
And cereal, milk and cereal, cereal and milk.
Grandma eats a bran muffin. That's right. That one's so good. A friend of the show, Jim, used to use that to open up his morning radio show before the school announcements when he was a DJ for his local high school radio program. Did you know that, Alyssa?
No.
Did you know this? We were planning to go to a Dave Matthews Band show this year, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up going to Florida for vacation instead to go see friends of the program, Grandma and Grandpa.
But that was super fun because I got to bring Ella.
Yeah, shout out to Ella. That was a blast. Scheduling just didn't work out this year. You told me the other day, Liz, you don't think you've ever been to a real concert.
Actually, Dad.
Okay, here it comes.
I thought about it some more.
Uh-huh.
And I've been to the one and only Kids Bop concert.
That's right. You did go to see Kids Bop.
And
Uh-huh.
a big hit.
Uh-huh.
Like biggest pop artist ever.
Sure.
Maddie B.
Maddie B of YouTube fame. That's right. There's a photo of you and Maddie B together at that concert. And you have a Maddie B snapback hat. Oh my gosh.
Sitting under my bed.
That's right. You did love that show, though. You had a really good time there.
Yeah.
Liz, my first concert, your first concert was Maddie B, and then you went to Kids Bop. My first official concert was Tommy Conwell and the Young Rumblers, Alyssa, which Grandma took me to when they played a set after, I want to say it was a Temple college football game one year. I think she won tickets on the radio. It's a lot of radio talk today, Liz. Have you ever actually listened to a radio station in your life?
No.
No, all streaming
I'm
audio
not
for
some
you,
old
right?
man
Excuse me.
like you.
I walked into that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Liz, if you had to pick one concert to go to in the upcoming year, any artist you like, what would it be?
Olivia Rodrigo.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Or Taylor Swift.
Well, of course, or Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour.
But that's a little pricey.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, all concerts are very expensive now. I'm sure Olivia Rodrigo is probably up there as well. We do like her song Vampire, though.
And Bad Idea, right?
That's right. Yes, we like all of her songs,
and
actually, I
there's
think.
another good one like the I Wanna Get Him Back.
That's right. The one that's on that iPhone commercial on TV that was on like
it's
a
like the
billion
iPhone 15.
times during the football games
so
on Thanksgiving.
I all these letters and throw them in the trash. Miss the way he kisses and the way he made me laugh.
Very nice. Alyssa, Vampire, also kind of a food-related song.
Miss you sunk your teeth into me.
Because vampires drink blood.
Yeah.
That's gross, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, Liz.
Wait, can we talk about what we did today?
Absolutely. Go right ahead. Please do.
So, today we had our first school basketball game.
Uh-huh.
And tomorrow, and we got to get released early. Released early. I sound like a caged tiger.
Like you were in prison, actually.
Yeah, we got released early. So we got to leave at 2:30.
Shout out to the Lady Panthers.
Instead of 3:30.
Uh-huh.
And then, so we get to get out again at 2:30 tomorrow.
Another game tomorrow, that's right. Does it make you feel like very, very special to be walking through the halls with all your basketball gear while all your other friends are still in class?
Well, the time we leave class, I'm only in a class with Maya and Nora, and those are my only friends.
Shout out to Maya and Nora.
And I guess
friends of the
Christian.
show. And Christian. Of course, friend of the program,
guess.
Christian. Liz, hey.
What?
All that talk about basketball in school is making me hungry. And it reminds me of this week's snack. Alyssa, up next on Junk Feud.
It's chocolate chip cookies.
That's right. Chocolate chip cookies.
You always have to redo it after I say it.
No, you did it so good. I thought it was great. Liz, this is perhaps the biggest show in the history of this program. Program?
What's a program?
It's a program,
like
it's a program, but you say it like you're an old person. Program.
You're saying it like you're getting off the Mayflower.
That's right. That's right, probably. Liz, what are, for those that don't know, what are chocolate chip cookies? Just in your own words, what's a chocolate chip cookie?
They are cookies with chocolate chips.
Uh-huh. That's it. That's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Good night. Liz, like so many of the food origin stories we've shared on this show, the origin of chocolate chip cookies is, I would say, both fascinating and also swimming in misinformation, Alyssa.
Pow.
Yeah, this much is commonly accepted. There were recipes for drop sugar cookies with grated or chopped chocolate that were already published and in circulation at the time of the quote-unquote invention, Alyssa, of the modern chocolate chip cookie, which I think we're willing to say was invented at the Toll House Inn in Whitman, Massachusetts by a woman named Ruth Wakefield, who was a co-owner of the inn and the head cook, and had become pretty famous locally for her desserts, Alyssa.
Yeah.
Now, the Toll House Inn, have you ever heard of this place?
No.
Only in the context of cookies, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's a real place, or it was anyway. It was never actually a toll house, but Ruth and her husband Kenneth decided to call it that. It was part of their marketing strategy when the inn opened in 1930, just to add a bit of interest to what would otherwise have simply been another restaurant and inn. The building itself, the historic building.
This gets dark a little bit.
Yeah, it burned down in 1984. I think New Year's Eve, 1984, perhaps. There's a Wendy's there now, Alyssa.
We stan Wendy's.
Yeah, we what?
We
stan Wendy's? It's like two people's names in one sentence. I don't know what stan means. You're going to have to tell me on an episode of Alyssa Explains It All one week, aren't you?
I don't really understand what it means either. I just kind of like to say it.
Well,
I'll be like, oh yes, we stan, Dad.
Well, that's going to be funny when we do that, isn't it?
I don't know what it means.
So, Liz.
Wait, we got to look in the Urban Dictionary.
Oh, well, it's a good thing this is not a live program. Liz,
they can't see my computer.
The original location of the Toll House Inn was where, like I said, the invention of the modern chocolate chip cookie, I think, probably did take place, or at least some version of it. Now, here's the common story. Ruth Wakefield was in the kitchen. She was experimenting with cookie additives. She tried to make a chocolate cookie by chopping up a Nestle bar and adding it to the dough, expecting that it was going to melt. And when the chocolate didn't melt, but instead stayed together in chunks inside the cookie, Ruth was surprised to find out how good the chopped chunks of chocolate were in the dough. And she realized that she had accidentally created the world's most famous cookie.
This is what I was looking for.
Stan, absolutely. Don't show me because I don't want to be swayed for when we do the episode.
This.
I'll put it in your list of names.
No, I just got to bookmark.
Next to Mercurio Bumfuzzle, was that one? Mercutio Bumfuzzle. Mauricio Bumfuzzle?
That's what I was going to say, but I don't think...
Liz.
What?
So here's the thing. The story was that Ruth Wakefield accidentally invented the chocolate chip cookie. Do you think that's true?
Probably not.
No, it's a lie. There's another story, Liz, that she was running low on ingredients and added chopped chocolate to a cookie recipe because she was out of mixed nuts. Do you think that's true?
No.
Also probably a lie. There's a further story, Alyssa, that she had a bag of chopped chocolate sitting on a shelf above her mixing bowl, and her mixer was banging on the counter, and it accidentally knocked the bag of chocolate off, and it fell into the raw cookie dough, and Ruth baked it anyway. Liz, do you think that's true? No, again, a lie. There's a really, really good breakdown of all this and why it might have happened on a website that we love on this show, DougMaxSnackStack.net. But Alyssa, the gist is mostly that people want a story when the truth isn't exciting, and when the truth isn't exciting, you have to invent something better for people to glom onto.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, I know. That's what it's like being a teenager. But there does seem to be some truth to this. There were already things, Alyssa.
Sorry,
you thought of something very funny?
Yeah.
Would you like to share it with the world?
I can't share it.
Okay.
It's a basketball thing.
Great radio here, by the way, when you allude to something funny that you won't tell anyone.
No, I actually can't say it.
Oh, you can tell me off air.
You already know what it is about Lexi.
Oh, well, you shout out to Lexi, friend of the show, Lexi. Liz,
yeah.
Like I was saying, here's some truth. Chocolate chip cookies or things that were like chocolate chip cookies already existed, but at some point in 1937, Ruth Wakefield came up with the idea for her version of a chocolate chip cookie, possibly when she was on a flight back from Egypt to Massachusetts. She deliberately experimented with it over and over until she got it exactly right. Then she published the recipe, a variation of her pre-existing thin butterscotch nut cookie with ice cream recipe, in the 1938 version of her 1931 cookbook, Ruth Wakefield's Tried and True Recipes. And that recipe was called the Toll House Chocolate Crunch Cookie. It was on page 165 of that cookbook in 1938. Liz.
What?
What else was going on in 1938?
The first nylon bristled toothbrush was manufactured. Superman debuted in Action Comics #1.
The most expensive comic book of all time.
Neville Chamberlain met with Adolf Hitler. Ugh.
Yeah, that's the right response to Adolf Hitler.
He is not slaying. He's not giving.
No, absolutely not. Hitler not giving, says the 13-year-old.
And declared that there would be peace for our time.
Well, he was wrong.
And he's a liar.
Well, yeah.
And
kind
Kristallnacht.
Yeah, well.
Followed the November.
Yeah, Kristallnacht, Alyssa, the Night of Broken Glass, which was when the Nazi sympathizers began to slaughter Jews.
This is not PG.
Germany.
Let's keep it PG.
No, it was pretty bad. It was really bad, actually, as far as those things go.
Abby Hoffman synthesized LSD. Kofi Annan was born.
Kofi Annan. Shout out to Kofi Annan. I met him.
And Mustafa Kemal Atatürk died.
Sorry, try that again.
Mustafa Kemal Atatürk.
Yeah, Ataturk. Died in 1938. The father of modern Turkey, Alyssa. Shout out to Ataturk, RIP to a real one. I did not meet him. Liz.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Toll House chocolate chip cookie recipe.
Or a Sabrina Carpenter concert.
Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you do. From the girl, not Girl Meets World.
Why are you so exasperated that I don't know who Sabrina Carpenter is? You've never listened to the radio.
No, but this is yes, you do know who that is.
Oh, yeah. Girl Meets World, yeah.
Girl Meets World? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know she was a singer.
And Sophia the First, too.
Also, I didn't know her name. So, Liz.
What?
The Toll House cookie recipe, very, very popular. Published in 1938. By 1939, Nestle had started to create what they called Toll House chocolate chips after the inn. And they started manufacturing those chocolate morsels to go into the cookies because of how famous that cookie recipe had become. And this was because they had negotiated with Ruth Wakefield for the permanent rights to her recipe in exchange for a lifetime supply of chocolate and $1. Now, she never actually got the dollar. They did, at various points in time, pay her a consulting fee, but she never got that $1 that they promised her. And today, Alyssa, the recipe is on the back of every bag of Toll House chocolate morsels, and it's probably the recipe that grandmas and aunts all over the world are using when they say they have a secret family recipe for chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
Unless it's pretty good. It's the baseline for any good chocolate chip cookie, but the recipe is different now than it initially was published. Liz, do you know what the original recipe was?
1 1/2 cups of shortening.
Yeah, do you know what shortening is?
No idea.
Like Crisco, like a vegetable fat?
Ew.
Yeah.
1 1/8 cups of sugar. 1 1/8 cups of brown sugar, 3 eggs, 1 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 3 3/8 cups of flour, 1 1/2 teaspoons of hot water, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda, and 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla.
And then chocolate chips.
Yeah.
So
the semi-sweet ones, the good ones.
So there's really only a couple things in here that are different than modern recipes. And it's the addition of shortening and then hot water added to the mixture. But everything else that's in there now is pretty much the same. Most people will use butter now, sugar, brown sugar, salt, flour, baking soda, vanilla, and chocolate chips. And that's like the classic Toll House recipe list.
Wait, Dad, remember when I made chocolate chip cookies out of crushed up Chips Ahoy?
Yeah, that was really gross, actually.
I mixed them with milk, like the cookies, and I mashed them all up until it was into like a dough, and I put flour, and then I shaped them into like circles and put them in the oven, and I made cookies, and they were gross.
That was just like the time that you crushed up Lay's potato chips and turned them into mashed potatoes, and that was also gross.
No, that wasn't gross.
I think we have a sliding scale for gross.
No, that was good.
Okay.
Stop lying.
Liz.
What?
Nowadays, if you search online for a chocolate chip cookie recipe, every single recipe that you find claims to be the best chocolate chip cookie recipe. The cookie itself is so iconic, so beloved, so ubiquitous that the only way to differentiate all these recipes is to ordinate them like that.
Look,
you're doing it right now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and it'll just keep going on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah, I did the same thing when I was doing the notes for the show list. The first 20 results, if you Google just chocolate chip cookies, all claim to be the best, the original, or the ultimate cookie. And here's the thing, Liz. I have tried a lot of these recipes over the years, and I can confirm that they're all really good. There's a bunch that are really popular with the YouTube.
But they're not as bust as ours.
The YouTube crowd, yeah, well, we're going to get to that in a minute, Liz, because a lot of these recipes are made by celebrity chefs, or at least people that are famous for cooking on the internet.
Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay, I think, has a chocolate chip cookie recipe. I have not checked into it. But I was talking about people like J. Kenji Lopez-Alt, whose Food Lab cookie article explains exactly why he made all of the decisions that he did in the recipe, what all the variables and ingredients and techniques mean to the finished product.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that picture is not very flattering, is it, for the Gordon Ramsay cookie?
Mm-mm.
I'll tell you what is, though. Stella Parks from Brave Tart has a couple of good recipes in her book. Brian Lagerstrom, Joshua Weissman on YouTube, the Bon Appetit Test Kitchen, America's Test Kitchen.
Bon Appetit.
Yeah. Listen, Alton Brown has 2 different recipes depending on if you like chewy or crunchy cookies.
I like the chewy cookies.
I do too, for the most part.
I like when they're crispy on the outside and soft on the... Was that a picture of a shrimp on the cookie? Who would do that?
What are you talking about?
I swear I just saw a picture of shrimp on a cookie.
Of a chocolate chip cookie topped with a shrimp?
Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah, that looks terrible. That's from the Reddit site DIY, as in WHY. Yeah,
with
that's
salsa?
It looks well. That's cocktail sauce, and it looks absolutely horrific. You know what does not look horrific, Liz?
What?
The cookie that Claire Saffitz makes in her book Dessert Person. Here's the thing, though, Liz. The big one, the big chocolate chip cookie recipe that sort of started the whole contemporary internet cookie recipe craze, has to be the New York Times recipe by chocolatier Jacques Torres, who has a shop.
Dude.
Yeah, he has a shop in New York City, Liz. He introduced the world to using chocolate discs instead of chips, mixing bread and cake flour, aging the dough for a more well-developed flavor. Liz, before the Jacques Torres recipe went viral online, Alyssa, there was another sort of viral cookie recipe, and it's shrouded in a bit of myth. Here's the thing. All of this happened in the pre-internet days. I bet you're wondering how something could go viral pre-internet, Alyssa.
For real?
Well, it was mostly through simple word of mouth and also things called chain letters. Do you know what a chain letter is?
No.
A chain letter would be a letter that you would get in the mail, and it would have some weird story in it. And at the bottom, it would say, like, if you want to have good luck for the rest of the year, you must copy this letter 7 times and send it to 7 friends. And then each one of those like 7 friends got, that's right, exactly that.
Those are so annoying.
Well, here's an annoying one that actually is kind of an interesting story. And the story goes like this. Alyssa, there was a woman and her daughter. They were shopping at the Neiman Marcus store in Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas. That's right. They bought a scarf. And then they stopped into the Neiman Marcus Cafe for lunch. They each had a salad, and then at the end of the meal, Alyssa, they decided that they would like a small dessert. On the menu was a chocolate chip cookie, and so they ordered it, and it was good. It was really good. So good, in fact, they said, that they asked the waiter for the recipe. Now, the waiter said he was sorry, but they didn't give away their recipes as a matter of policy. So the woman asked if she could buy the recipe, and the waiter thought about it for a minute and then said, well, of course, we do that. The woman asked how much. The waiter said $2.50. The woman said, okay. The waiter handed over the recipe, and the woman and the daughter went on their way. Now, this was in the pre-swipe your card kind of days, so she had a Neiman Marcus charge account, Alyssa. And when she got her bill for the charge account, it showed a charge for $250 for a chocolate chip cookie recipe. $250, Liz.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's what she said, too. She was furious. She called customer service. Complained the waiter told her $250, didn't indicate that it meant $250. Customer service rep said, well, they were very sorry, but they could not offer a refund. She already had the recipe, and it was so expensive because the cookies were so good, and not everyone could have it. If you wanted to know the secret, you had to pay up. So the woman didn't like this, and she told the customer service rep that she was going to get revenge on them, and she was going to do that by giving the recipe away for free to everyone in the world. And then the recipe was published below that story in the chain letter, and then you were supposed to copy it and send it to your friends. But here's the thing, though, Liz. This exact story had been spreading around for years, even before the store Neiman Marcus existed.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. At various times, it was about cookies from places like Woolworths or Mrs. Fields, for example, or even in some tellings of it, Alyssa, the fudge cake from the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. Yeah, not only that, here's some other debunking. There is no Neiman Marcus Cafe in any of the 3 Neiman Marcus stores that are in the Dallas vicinity.
Oh.
Yeah. And furthermore, Neiman Marcus doesn't sell any of the recipes. They will just give them away for free to you. In fact, you can get the Neiman Marcus chocolate chip cookie recipe freely available online. And it's always been freely available online because the fact of the matter is Neiman Marcus never even made a chocolate chip cookie until the story became popular on Facebook around like 2006.
Oh.
So in response to that, they made up their own cookie recipe and then they gave it away online. And it's a pretty good cookie recipe, honestly, the Neiman Marcus chocolate chip cookie recipe list. There is so much potential variation in chocolate chip cookie ingredients and techniques that everybody can find the one that they like the best. What's your ideal cookie list? What do you want it to be?
All right. It's got to be melted chocolate in the middle. Has to be hot.
Of course, a warm cookie.
Yes. And then it has to be like crispy on the outside. And then you break it and it's all gooey and soft.
Sure. So crispy edges.
And salt.
Chewy center, salty. Sure. Salt on top or salt in the dough or both?
On top. And both.
Yeah, sure. I think, Alyssa, that we're pretty copacetic here. My ideal cookie is very much like yours. Crispy edges, chewy center, lots of chocolate, but different sizes, shapes, flavor profiles. So a mix of like a semi-sweet and a darker, or even a milk chocolate sometimes. Chunks, discs, shards, flakes. Shards, that's right. I want a strong but smooth vanilla hit. I want a butterscotchy background. And of course, the pop of flaky salt on top of a very well conditioned and seasoned, nutty, toasty, buttery cookie dough. That's what I want from a cookie. Alyssa, I have gone to the literal ends of the earth to find this cookie. I have traveled the world trying chocolate chip cookies in every major city that I go to. And I think we may have stumbled upon it. Liz, here's the thing. Because I wanted to find what was the ultimate cookie for me, to understand my own preferences, just as you've understood yours, first I checked the only place I knew where people were very generous with their advice and strongly opinionated and very diverse in their experiences and viewpoints, but also real jerks about it all the time. So I went to Reddit, of course. Alyssa, there are a lot of Reddit threads where people claim to have the ultimate secret or whatever to making the best chocolate chip cookie. So what I did was I cataloged all those different secret ingredients or techniques, and I tried them all in variations, like through A/B testing, to see what worked and what didn't. And there were a lot of secrets, Alyssa. What do you think some of the secrets to the best cookies were?
Probably like soft, chewy.
Yeah, making them soft and chewy, so underbaking the cookies a little bit. Yeah. That's right. That was definitely one of them. One of the big ones was that people said that if you were going to use butter in your cookies, which you should, because that's what they're made with, that butter should be browned and then cooled to increase the depth of flavor from the nutty, toasty milk solids that were cooked in the butter. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
That was one. To get at what you were saying about making a chewier cookie, the second was to use more brown sugar than white sugar. That would improve the texture. But all brown sugar would make a sort of a greasy cookie, interestingly enough. So you have to have a balance of brown sugar and white sugar. The molasses in the brown sugar is sort of what gets you those caramely, butterscotchy notes when it cooks through.
Yeah.
Everybody, to a person, said increase the amount of vanilla and salt. Don't even bother measuring the vanilla. Just glug a bunch in there and be happy with what you put in. Use more salt than you think the recipe calls for. Some people, Alyssa, even claimed that they would add an additional egg yolk on top of the eggs that were called for in the recipe because it would make the dough more fudgy. I found that made them a little bit too fudgy, actually. That wasn't what I wanted. And then, Alyssa, there were additives. There were a lot of people that would add cornstarch to their dough or Crisco to their dough to condition it, or even corn syrup in some cases. Milk powder was a big addition. Malt powder, even if you wanted like a malted milk ball flavor. I don't all the time, but in some cases, that's pretty good. A lot of people liked adding espresso powder. They said it didn't make the cookie taste like coffee, but it made the chocolate taste more chocolatey, if you can believe that. Some people even put a little sprinkle of cayenne in there, Alyssa, hot red pepper. You know, I do that with hot cocoa mix. A little bit of cayenne, like a tiny little pinch in there. Can't really tell that it's hot, but it adds a little bit of a sort of an intense background note. It's pretty good. Some people also add cinnamon. Packs of Jell-O pudding mix, Alyssa. That was a big one. I don't like that. It makes sort of like a mushy, cakey cookie. I'm not into that. And then, of course, there were lots of other things to condition dough or add flavor. Some people wanted you to use bread flour, something with a higher protein content. Liz, there were lots of strong opinions on what kind of chocolate you should use. Do you have any opinion on what kind of chocolate? You said like melty.
the semi-sweet chips.
Yeah, semi-sweet chips are really good. That's sort of the standard. A lot of people like to chop up good bars of chocolate and put that in, usually like at least 60% cacao. I like to use Fieves, Alyssa, or melting discs. Those are the ones that you would melt to dip things into chocolate to make like chocolate-covered strawberries or chocolate-covered pretzels. But I find those give me the right texture that I want, melty puddles of chocolate when the cookies are first out of the oven. That's really good.
Yeah.
And then also, just like in the Jacques Torres recipe, everybody recommended resting the dough in the fridge at least overnight to develop flavor as the flour hydrates.
You do that.
We do that. In fact, the cookies we made, spoiler alert, we rested for 72 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Liz, like I said, I've flown all around the world. I've tried lots of cookies in lots of different countries and cities. You're not going to believe this. A recent point of comparison. Friend of the show, Chef Natalie, made cookies last week.
Oh, yeah.
They were better than anything I've gotten in any commercial bakery anywhere in the world.
You're right.
They're so good, like top 5 all time for sure. But Liz.
What?
Despite my best efforts, no matter where I've gone, I've never been able to find a cookie that exactly matches what I want. The closest thing, you're not going to believe this, is the Otis Spunkmeyer cookies that we had at the snack bar in my high school cafeteria.
Oh, no, that's so true. We have these cookies at our school, and they come out hot.
Yeah, they cook them in those little silver ovens.
They're good.
It's so weird. They're so good. Anyway, those are the dragons that I've been chasing, Liz. And so naturally, I did what anybody else would do in this situation. I experimented with recipes that incorporated all of those different things that I liked and none of the things that I didn't like. And I came up with my own ultimate best, whatever search engine optimization character you want to put in there, chocolate chip cookie recipe list.
Oh my gosh, I just remembered.
What's that, bud?
That I have like one of those. I have something from 5th grade. Like it was, I don't know what you call them, but it's like where you put them away in like a lockbox or something.
A time capsule.
A time capsule. I have one from 5th grade that I just remembered.
Well, you're only in 7th grade.
I know, but that's like crazy.
You know, we buried a time capsule in my elementary school too, probably when I was in 5th grade or something like it. It's almost certainly still buried there. No, I don't think so. I drove past that school not too long ago, and it didn't look like they had done any major construction to the front of the building where we buried it.
We should go and dig it out.
Well, that would be a crime, so we're not going to do that. But I can ask. The mayor of the town that I grew up in was a guy that was in elementary school a year above me, so I can just give him a call and see what's up.
Oh.
Yeah, Liz.
What?
Like I said, I created the best chocolate chip cookie recipe for me. What I liken it to was sort of, in the Marvel movies when they had to search through the multiverse to find all of the things that they wanted and bring them back to put together like the infinity gauntlet of cookies. That's what I did. It's the multiversal chocolate chip cookie of madness, Alyssa.
Yeah.
We're going to put the recipe up on all the social media accounts. We will share it with everybody. I think it's really good. But here's the thing, Liz. And this is why we're doing this as a Christmas episode. Before I made that recipe, I had mostly been eating chocolate chip cookies my whole life. Chocolate chip cookies. Hey, you going to write that down too? Yeah. Like I said, I had been mostly eating the chocolate chip cookies that my mom made, and she mostly made them at Christmas time. So you've had these. These are grandma's chocolate chip cookies. And I'm talking like mass quantities of these. When it was Christmas, she had this little handheld mixer, and she would make dozens and dozens and dozens of these small, crunchy chocolate chip cookies for us to give away to our friends and family at Christmas time. We talked about my Uncle Charlie on the Pizzelle episode. He looked forward to these chocolate chip cookies every year. He was a chocolate cake guy at heart, but he had a soft spot for the cookies. And Liz, this is my association with Christmas. It's December. It's the Christmas snacktacular for us, but these are, for me, Christmas cookies. They are the Christmas cookie. I know, like when we say let's make Christmas cookies, usually we're talking about the cut-out sugar cookies that we decorate with sprinkles. Yeah. For me, when I still hear Christmas cookies, I think my mom's chocolate chip cookies.
Well, because that's what you grew up.
That's right. They were the centerpiece around which the rest of the cookie tray was built. Santa Claus got them as a special treat on Christmas Eve. We have a special cookie plate that we set out for Santa with carrots for Rudolph too. Of course, shout out to Rudolph. I love chocolate chip cookies so much, Alyssa.
What about the other reindeer? Why don't they get one?
That's a good question. Do you think we should leave stuff out for the other 8 reindeer? I mean, Rudolph is sort of like the ringleader. Yeah, he gets all the press. He really does. Wonky. I mean, well, that was kind of the point of the whole Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer special. We shouldn't be making fun of Rudolph because he's weird and different.
Yeah, but that's what everyone else does.
Well, Santa mostly. I mean, Santa Claus was a real jerk in that show, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, maybe we should leave out 8 carrots, and Rudolph can get one from a different house.
Wow. Well, if we do that this year, you're going to have to leave a special note that says, like,
only for everyone but Rudolph.
For everyone but Rudolph. Hey,
That's
Red Nose,
rude,
kick
actually.
rocks.
I can't do that.
Yeah. That's terrible.
Kick rocks.
Kick rocks, Rudolph. Liz, you are laughing so much at this. If you actually dissed Rudolph like that, I would be so upset. But also, it would be my favorite thing that you would do this Christmas. Oh, and hey, now it's time for my favorite part of this show. Alyssa reads the ingredients.
Okay, flour, baking soda, salt, butter, sugar, brown sugar, vanilla, eggs, and chocolate chips.
Yeah, again, Liz, like we said, very, very close to the original recipe.
She keeps it classy.
From 1938, yeah. Ruth Wakefield keeps it classy with some basic ingredients into this beautiful alchemy that we call a chocolate chip. Are you ready to eat some chocolate chip cookies?
Yeah.
Well, then let's get to the rules of the game.
Grande.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's get to the rules of the game, Liz. Junk Feud is a culinary clash to see which treat will be crowned the undisputed champion of snacks. It's a King of the Mountain style battle in which the reigning champ takes on a new challenger each week to see which snack reigns supreme. And Alyssa...
Yeah.
Yeah. The reigning defending undisputed champion of holiday snacks, the holder of the Kringle Kup, is...
Christmas Crunch.
That's right. Another week, another surprise, another upset, I think, Alyssa. I really didn't think you were going to be impressed with Captain Crunch's Christmas Crunch, but you loved it.
I've had it like every day for breakfast.
You've had it
except for today. This morning I had
you had eggs
toast
today.
with eggs.
Well, you had to
and avocado.
Had to have a hearty breakfast because it was your first basketball game today.
Not my first basketball.
Yeah.
For school.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Christmas Crunch wouldn't have given you that long-lasting energy that you needed.
You know what did though?
What's
my
that?
Sandwich at lunch.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Would you say it was super bus?
It was midterm bus.
Midterm bus? Wow. Anyway, Alyssa, Captain Crunch, Christmas Crunch, holder of the Kringle Kup, reigning defending undisputed champion of holiday snacks. You and the Cap'n made it happen, Alyssa.
Stop capping.
Liz, today we're going to try
chocolate chip cookies.
Chocolate chip cookies. That's right. I went to the store. I bought the pack of original Toll House recipe chocolate chip cookie dough, and we baked them into chocolate chip cookies. But wait, Alyssa.
Dad, there's something. Oh, it hurts. In my heart, it's coming out. Oh my gosh, what is this?
Oh.
Whose music is that?
You're doing like the alien chest burster of...
Hey, look, Ma, we made it.
Yeah, that's right. We made, Alyssa, our very own special recipe, Multiversal Cookies of Madness, our own homemade chocolate chip cookies. And you are praising up for those.
Yeah.
Because it's crunch time.
Crunch time.
We rate our snacks using a tier list from sprinkles to fun dip, so snacks can be graded A, B, C, D, or F with the very best treats earning the elusive S tier ranking. The following contest is scheduled for 1 serving and is for the undisputed championship of junk food. The following contest is scheduled for 1 serving.
1 serving.
And is for the undisputed championship of
junk food.
Junk food. Liz.
Yeah.
I have here in my possession a Santa Claus plate.
I want this.
And on top of that plate, Alyssa, are some cookies. Describe to me what you see.
I see tiny ones and big ones.
Okay, the tiny ones are the Toll House cookies.
Yeah.
We broke them up into the little cubes. We put them on a baking sheet on top of a piece of parchment. They do still kind of have a little bit of a square shape on top. We bake them as the recipe indicated on the package for 12 minutes.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
The aftertaste is artificial.
Yeah, Liz, there is something a little bit off about them being a store-bought cookie. It's essentially the same recipe that Grandma uses when she makes her cookies, and there are some flavor similarities. The textures are a little bit different. There are differences in the way that home cooks make their cookie dough, and industrial kitchens with large industrial mixers mix their ingredients that does change the flavor and the texture a little bit. These are still good. They're sweet. They have very noticeable and distinct chocolate chips, which do not melt but stay intact. They smell like chocolate chip cookies, which to me smells like Christmas. You know? If somebody handed me this cookie and said, here's a chocolate chip cookie, I would eat it and I would be happy.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. A chocolate chip cookie as a baseline is one of the best things that you can have, bar none.
We've got a little bit of milk. Let's hit it with some milk.
We also hear, yes, of course, have some
she's
milk.
a little wobbly.
Because milk and cookies. Listen, when you hear milk and cookies, do you think of chocolate chip cookies and milk, or do you think of like Oreos and milk?
Definitely chocolate.
Yeah, I think so too. In New York, the Dominique Ansel Bakery had a chocolate chip cookies and milk shot, where they made a shot glass out of chocolate chip cookie. The inside of the shot glass was coated in melted chocolate that was then hardened, and then they poured a vanilla-scented milk inside, and you ate the whole thing all at once. It was fantastic.
You ate that?
Uh-huh. I sure did, and it was great.
Hello.
So, Liz, first impressions of the Toll House cookie, other than the fact that it has a strange chemically aftertaste.
Very good.
They're good, right? Like, for a store-bought, mass-produced treat, you can't beat a chocolate chip cookie. Now, I will say there are some things that it's missing. There's not a lot of depth of flavor behind it. Like, there's no caramely or butterscotchy notes. The chocolate, yeah, there's not a lot of vanilla. There's some vanilla, but not a lot. The chocolate is standard. And that's not like, not a bad thing, but not a good thing either. So let's contrast that with our cookies that we made at home. As you crunch into one directly into the microphone, you could not wait. When you look at this cookie, what do you see? So first off, there's some French flaky salt on top that we put on there for a pop of saltiness. The salt doesn't make the cookie taste salty. It just makes it taste more like itself. There are puddles and pools of melted chocolate inside this. We have both chopped chocolate from a candy bar and chocolate melting discs that sort of puddle all through the cookie. The chopped chocolate makes little chocolate shards and flecks that create ribbons of chocolate throughout the cookie. There is a burnished brown color all over the top. The edges are crispy. The center is still soft and chewy. They smell very buttery, very much like vanilla. Oh, look at that. I broke my cookie in half. You broke yours in half. And the two halves that are left fit perfectly together. That's really weird. Alyssa, what do you taste when you eat this cookie?
Vanilla, a little salt, lots of chocolate. I'm like astonished on how this fits like perfect.
Listen, there are 5 different types of vanilla in this cookie.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm merging.
The brown butter makes them taste a little bit nutty, a little bit toasty. This is an excellent, excellent cookie. This is, I think, Alyssa, the best chocolate chip cookie that I've ever had.
Now, I would eat more, but I kind of had one before the show. Don't put it on top.
Well, I was going to...
Couldn't ruin masterpiece.
I'm going to try it with a little bit of milk here.
Hit it with the milk.
In honor of Gabe, let's hit it with some milk, see how it tastes.
That's like... It's so perfect. Like, it's the exact size. Wait, can you take a picture of my nuts?
They are, as usual, even better with the milk. Okay, Liz, I'm ready to call it. Let's hit the bliss point. What do you got?
S tier.
Yeah, absolutely. S tier. No question about it. If there was an S plus, this would be an S plus.
You know what this gets? This gets a Z for Zang, girl. You did good.
Wow, the vaunted Z rating. Yeah, Liz, S tier. No doubt in my mind, never in question. This is the best thing we've ever eaten on this show. Here's the secret. We had to put this in the Christmas episode.
So it would stay.
Because there's no way that anything that we are going to eat on this show from here on out is ever going to beat a chocolate chip cookie. The best chocolate chip cookie in the world. So, yeah, it does definitely get sequestered in Christmas time, and that was on purpose. But whatever, your winner and new reigning defending undisputed champion of holiday snacks, the new holder of the Kringle Kup, the 3rd title change in this month, Alyssa. Chocolate chip cookies. That is crazy.
We've changed a winner every time.
I know. That's exciting. So, I mean, well, next week...
we'll have to see.
Next week, we've got our very special Christmas Snacktacular blowout episode coming up. And, well, it's got its work cut out for it, I would say. Wouldn't you also say that? I did just side-eye you. That's right. Hey, Liz, you know what else I'm side-eyeing?
This Oreo roll.
Yeah, the Oreo roll. That's because we were just talking about Grandma making chocolate chip cookies. None other than your own grandmother has invoked the Oreo rule on us, in spirit anyway, because there is no new Oreo, but Grandma loves Aldi, the discount grocery store, Alyssa. She is a member of an Aldi fan page on Facebook, at least one, possibly more than one. And she found us these lists. These are Aldi brand Benton's limited edition candy cane chocolate sandwich cream, which says
They're
double.
just Oreos.
Yeah, well, they're candy cane Oreos, essentially. It says double candy cane filling in a chocolate sandwich cookie. Liz,
Oreos do better.
I don't recall if there were candy cane Oreos or not. How about I look that up while you open these up, and we can try the candy cane chocolate sandwich creams.
Oh, they don't have a resealable. What's going on with this Aldi's?
Yeah, so immediately Aldi's loses points for as you crinkle that into the microphone as loudly as possible and ruin the packaging as always. Oh my goodness.
They literally smell like mint Oreos.
Liz, there were candy cane Oreos in, I want to say 2002. Oh, wow. They do smell like mint Oreos. Yeah, they do. They look like Oreos. They have a little bit of,
Oh, you can't twist it. Okay.
Yeah, that's a tough twist, Liz. Oh my goodness. There are some very tiny red flecks of candy cane flavor.
Holy peppermint. Jeez.
Are they very pepperminty?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Literally everything's just perfect.
I like them, Liz. I like them a lot.
I cannot eat any more cookies ever again.
No, one is enough of these, though, because we're cookied out right now. We like chocolate and mint together. It's the classic grasshopper flavor list, like Girl Scout cookie Thin Mints. It is tough to get knockoff Oreos right. You're just giving these back to me as is because you can't put them back in the packaging. Like I said, it's hard to get Oreo knockoffs right because...
They're knockoffs.
Yeah, because they're knockoffs. The cookies on these are a little bit, just a tad thicker than an Oreo, which makes them a little bit more crumbly in not an unpleasant way, but, these are still good. They're a little bit toothpastey because of the peppermint flavor, but I do like that at this time of year. So anyway, they're good. What do you think, score-wise?
C?
I'd say B-. I think they're pretty good. They're almost on par with the regular mint Oreos. So Liz.
What?
It's that time of the week where we ask a very important question. Can you deep fry this week's snack? Will it deep fry?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Alyssa, lots of Cuckoo Bananas recipes online for fried chocolate chip cookies. At first, it took a little bit of Google Food to find some of these videos and blog posts and recipes because if you Google deep fried chocolate chip cookies, you will only get recipes for deep fried chocolate chip cookie dough, which we talked about already on our cookie dough episode. But if you exclude the word dough from your search strategy, you can find lots of people just baking and frying already baked chocolate chip cookies to either crisp them up or give them a little bit of an interesting flavor that way. Some people, Alyssa, were battering or breading cookies that they'd already baked and then frying them that way. My favorite one, I think, Alyssa, was where some enterprising folks were using cookies as the ends of an ice cream sandwich. So putting ice cream between two chocolate chip cookies and then battering the entire thing and deep frying that. What do you think about that? You think that would be any good?
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I think it would be probably all right. Anyway,
all right.
Anyway, I like all that. I think
Anyway.
I would try probably a deep fried chocolate chip cookie. I had a smoked chocolate chip cookie once in Huntsville, Alabama, and it was really good.
You know what I want to try?
What's that?
Those like flaming ice cubes.
Flaming ice cubes. I don't know what that is.
So it's like, well, I'll have to wait till I'm like older because it's like an alcoholic beverage.
Oh, gross.
So it's like an alcohol and then it has like a flaming, well, like you eat fire.
You eat fire.
Like,
you're Googling eating fire. Eating fire and drinking water, which is a book.
Not the book. Eating fire, drinking, drink.
Eating fire, drinking, drink. No, I don't know about that. Liz, it's time to check out the back of the box, a weekly segment where we play a little game. Would you like to play a game?
Yeah.
Liz, this week's segment is Cereal Thriller. And it's a holiday edition of Cereal Thriller. Liz, on Cereal Thriller, we try new cereals. And so if we want to keep eating it or murder it in a most grisly fashion, Alyssa, this week on our special holiday-themed edition, we are starring the newest member of the Toast Crunch family. Alyssa, it's Gingerbread Toast Crunch.
Yay!
Are you excited for this?
Yeah.
These do look pretty good. We deliberately left this off of our list of holiday and winter-themed cereals last week with good reason, because I wanted this to be a surprise.
These.
Although, what are you looking at here?
Wait, no, those aren't the edible ones.
Liz.
Yeah.
Focus on this, please.
I want to find this so bad. It was so fun. So anyway, it's like at a bar, and if you get this drink, they can give you like this like smoking ball, and you eat it, and you can like blow.
Is it like dry ice?
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt your mouth.
Okay, well that's interesting. Speaking of not hurting your mouth, Alyssa, we have. Well, all right. I have to confess to something here.
Yeah.
There's not much left of this box.
Yeah.
We got it a while ago. I've been waiting for this episode for us to try gingerbread toast crunch.
To try, quote
But,
unquote.
I mean, I ate most of the box already because it's really good.
Wait, is it going up against anything?
No, we just have gingerbread toast crunch this week.
How does this work?
Well, either we like it and it becomes part of the holiday tradition, or we don't like it and we find a Yule-themed way to knock it off.
I know I like it, but I want.
But you want to
come up
murder
with
it
a
anyway?
way. Yeah.
Well, let's see. We'll see how we can figure that out. Liz, the box is really nice. It's a blue box. It says limited edition gingerbread toast crunch on the front. There's a little gingerbread house, and the little cinnamojis are playing on the gingerbread house and decorating it. On the back, you can cut out and fold your own gingerbread cinnamoji house, which is kind of fun. So there is some back of the box. Liz, this cereal was a long time coming. Most serious cereal commentators had already made overtures to General Mills to bring these into the canon, especially Gabe from Cereal Time. In fact, he had created his own mock-up box a few years back, and then they made it real. So let's see if they're worth the hype. Just smelling one square, they smell like regular Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but then there's a little bit of that warming spice to them. Like, not a lot. It's not overbearing. There's not a whole bunch of ginger and clove, but it's there. It's nice.
I love these, but they leave like a burning taste in my mouth.
A burning taste, huh?
Like in the back.
Weren't you just saying you wanted to eat fire?
Not like that kind of.
Huh. So they're really good dry. They have that traditional toasty flavor from Cinnamon Toast Crunch and the sweetness from the sugar. There is cinnamon in these because there's cinnamon in gingerbread. Yeah, they're really good. And you once again have demolished this bowl of cereal. You are finishing off all the Cinnadust and Cinnamilk in the bottom of the bowl.
So I saw this guy, and he was like, way to make Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk. Which, like, at first I got the point of it. But if you, like, think about how he does it, it's very not good. So he pours milk into this giant, like, tub. And then he lets, like, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch simmer in it. And then he strains it. And then he leaves it on his counter for a day. Keep in mind, this is milk.
Yeah, that part's pretty gross.
He leaves it on his counter for a day. And then pours it back into the carton of milk. And then he puts it in the fridge.
You know, it's interesting, Alyssa. Christina Tosi of Milk Bar fame, for example, became popular in part because she made lots of things with flavored cereal milks. And mostly she was steeping cornflakes in milks. But I can't imagine that she left it out at room temperature. That is pretty contrary to food safety, from what I understand. Now, maybe if you're doing something like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch where there's so much sugar that it might be inhibiting bacterial growth, but I don't think so for whatever reason.
Probably.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. Anyway, what's not gross is this cereal. You liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. What do you think for a score for this?
B plus.
B plus, yeah, wow. I would go as far as to say an A minus. I think we said Cinnamon Toast Crunch was an A plus. I think I said Cinnagram Toast Crunch was probably also that. That was, I think, the best of the Toast Crunches so far. Last year we had both Apple Pie Toast Crunch and Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch. I don't think they were as good as this.
Yeah, probably.
So Liz, let's just do it then. If you had to murder gingerbread toast crunch in a holiday-themed fashion, how would you do it?
Alrighty.
Let's hear
it. So, Santa is riding his sleigh.
Okay.
Right on the street, like Christmas Chronicles style. Like his sleigh is right there. So we're going to take that old filthy box of gingerbread toast crunch and we're going to slam it into the sleigh. And then Santa is going to be like, whoa, 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 ho, 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 what you doing there? And then he's gonna fly away, and he's gonna do like a loop-de-loop, and the cereal is gonna fall off and fall to its death.
Wow. So you're gonna smash the gingerbread toast crunch onto Santa's sleigh. Santa's gonna fly it up into the air, and then it's gonna fall to certain doom.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it's gonna snow, and then it will never be seen again.
A very grisly end for a cereal that we actually liked, so I'd hate to see what you do to the ones that you don't like. But excellent creativity there, Alyssa. And this podcast should reach you in excellent condition, satisfaction guaranteed, or your money back. If you've got a question for us, you can write to the address on the label. That's junkfeudpod@gmail.com. Alyssa, any final thoughts for what is certainly one of our best episodes ever?
I'm all cookied out.
Super cookied out. And this podcast has contained your recommended daily allowance of cookies. No, of fun. For more, go to X, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, or wherever you choose to be social, and find us at Junk Feud Pod. You can watch fun-sized reviews on YouTube, buy our merch on TeePublic, and don't forget to catch all the snaction each and every week wherever you listen to podcasts. Until we see you again, for Alyssa, I'm Mike.
Hasta lasagna.
Don't get any on ya.